everyone, we are here with Kodak this afternoon. Kodak and I are taking a walk. It is starting to rain, so we are going to head back in, but I wanted to get him a little exercise in before the rain started. But really what I wanted to just show in this video is how important it is to how your dogs are going to really mimic whatever your personality or excitement level is at that time. So I keep it very monotone when we're taking walks. I don't do a lot of yes, good job, because that's going to get them all excited and worked up. So I'm going to demonstrate just that. Kodak heel. Okay, so when it's a very loose heel, Kodak, he pays attention, right? He's kind of relaxed. He's walking with me. We got no tension. Now, if I go, good job, buddy. Yes, way to go. Yeah, good boy, Kodak. Good job. Good boy. Yeah, see the difference in his personality? He's all like bouncy and trying to get ahead of me now. Yes, good job, handsome. Good boy. Good boy. Right? Just from doing good boys. Now when I calm down, I'm going to adjust his leash, put it on properly up high. Okay, heel. Good. So I have a dominance with myself, right? I'm showing him that this is the behavior that I want you to display, is the same behavior that I am displaying, right? So if he gets worked up, I have a way to reinforce, calm down. So he just saw a car and he just got a little excited. Now, not to say that you can't tell your dog that they're doing a good job, but you don't have to do it like super excitedly. You can just say, good job, good boy. Alright, so lots of big noisy trucks going on. And so this is a great area. I love to work with him up towards the top of the road to work on distractions and get off. If he tries to bite at the leash, I just say off. He's doing really good about starting to drop it now as soon as I say off. So hopefully the next step is going to be he understands that I'm not even allowed to pick it up, because as soon as I put it in my mouth, she tells me to drop it. One thing, I don't know if I got to upload the video, I think it was too dark, that I talked about was your placement of your leash. So when you go like this and you like pull it in front of your dog's face, it's going to become a temptation for him to want to play with it, right? So learning to hold your leash appropriately is really important. If you learn the right spot to hold your leash, you basically aren't going to have to do very much work except for little like pops and stops. But I like to hold it just high enough that I can keep my shoulder down, okay? I don't want my arm up in the air like this. I want it down, straight, relaxed, right? So when it's relaxed, you see, Kodak, you see I have this U shape right there, right? As soon as I lift my shoulder, right, I'm not applying tension, but as soon as I lift my arm, look at the leash, it changes. And watch Kodak, right? As soon as I do a teeny little bit of pressure change, watch him look at me. Right? So he's saying, I feel that pressure, and he knows that that means something. So it becomes confusing to your dog if you're constantly talking to them with the leash, but not really relaying anything important to them. It's going to become confusing. So if you want to have a loose leash heel, you have to be the one to learn to walk with a loose leash. You don't need to clamp your fingers closed. You don't need to do this. Like, he could be pulling me right now. See, he's pulling. But I can also just drop that tension, and as soon as he gets to the end of the leash, I tell him, I don't allow that, by just doing a pop. That's the first step to getting your dog to not pull on leash, is telling them, I don't move forward when there's tension on the leash, and I give you a communication to calm down, right? So like I said earlier, you have a full-on calm down, which is a stop, go into a calmer state of mind, and pressure releases. That's your red light. And then your yellow light is your pop on the leash, which I've just been talking about. And it's literally just to say, pay attention. Okay, so I go, boy, yes. As soon as I gave him just that little pop, he even looked up at me, right? So you have your full-on calm down. You have your pay attention. And then when you have this nice U shape, that's your go ahead to move forward. Okay. Now, as soon as that, see right there? See how it's straight away? He's clearly in front of me, right? Now there's tension even. And I stopped moving and he felt that tension. And he did exactly what he's been trained to do, is when he feels tension, sit down and it'll go away, right? So it's a lot of you learning it. He understands the communication line at this point. Now off. Now it's going to be you learning how to use the tool properly. Because if you use it wrong, I mean, I always say you could try to cut a steak with a spoon, but you're using the tool incorrectly, right? You can't use that. It's not going to work well. So it might, you might get somewhere, but it's not going to look good. So it's the same idea as this. So you want to learn to have your leash. You don't want to have your arm way up here so that when you have to stop, see how my arm is like really awkward? But I also don't want to hold it all the way down here where he's got no looseness to like just follow my lead. So you find that sweet spot where you have this nice U shape, right? I just like to keep it on the tips of my fingers. I never really close. See how my knuckles go white? Don't want that. You just want them on the tips of your fingers so that your leash can slide. Good boy. Good job. And that's really important to off. It's really important to understand that you don't want your dog to be following a leash. You want your dog to be following you. Your leash is just a tool. It's a seatbelt, right? Your seatbelt doesn't drive the car for you, but it keeps you safe while you are driving the car. So you are the driver. You have to be the one to say, I'm going this way. Dog needs to follow me. If you just wait for him to go where he wants and then you keep correcting and saying, no, you're not doing what I want you to do, that's not fair to him because he doesn't know what you want him to do. A dog is going to be a dog, and that's fine. That's normal and natural and appropriate for them to just do whatever feels fine to them and normal. So if we want a different output from our dogs, it's up to us to be the ones to communicate that to them, that, hey, this is what I want. And that comes with consistency and repetition, that you do it every single time he gets slightly ahead of you. You tell him, don't do that. With just a little pop on the leash, not a verbal cue, he's going to be perfect for you. So yeah, there you have it. We're going to head inside since it's getting a little wet out here, but Mr. Kodak is doing great. Once the rain dies down a little, we're going to come back out with Pongo and take a nice little walk with them together. So hope everyone has a great afternoon. Stay dry.